Welcome everybody. So I want to show you specifically how we're going to fold all our different sections since we have all these different printed out pages. So our signatures are, some of them are pre-printed, so they have stuff specifically on them. So we have to put them in a specific order to make that work. So some of them like this one aren't as complicated. It's just the front page that's different. And some of them like this one, each page can be a little bit different for setting up for our warm-ups, because we have some of the longer warm-ups at the beginning and then the shorter warm-ups at the end. Same thing for this calendar one. So the calendar one, we start off with calendars at the beginning, but then it also has this little section here with clay forming and glazing skills and extra credit project ideas, elements of art and principles of design, a bunch of different visual prompts, that kind of thing. So we want to be able to get those into a good order. And this is for project planning right here. So I want to show you how each of those is going to kind of work. So the glaze log, I think, is the last one that has any type of specific order. The rest of them, like the blank pages and the just line pages, we're just going to fold the signatures and it doesn't matter what order the paper goes in. So for the SMART goals, this one's pretty easy. The main thing is you just have to make sure this one's on the outside, right? So we're gonna fold it like this. And we're gonna use our bone folder to make that nice and crisp. We'll set that one to the side. So now for these ones, all these pages are printed the same. So these ones just need to get stacked inside evenly, right? So I would go ahead and fold all of these pages. And then once I've got them all folded, I'm just going to make sure they're all facing the same direction and just make sure that this one is the one that's on top, right? So if I do all of those exactly the same, then it'll make that section. Now the warm-up one, like I said, is a little bit different, so follow along with me on this one. So you want to start with the cover. So find the cover, go ahead and fold it. So then the next one that you want to find, because we've got like this big circle right here, so the next one you want to find is one that has the 3 small circles on it and the 2 squares and then a big long rectangle and 2 more squares. And we are going to fold it so the circles are on the outside, the front outside. So the 3 circles are going to go, those 3 circles are going to end up matching up with the big circle. Okay. So now that we have the big circle and the 3 circles, now we've got the big rectangle here and we need our 3 small rectangles over there. So the next page that we're going to look for has the 3 small rectangles at the top up here. And then the 2 rectangles on the side, another big circle on the back, and the 2 rectangles. So these 3 small rectangles at the top, we need that to be on the outside of our folio. So we're gonna do that. So that way when we slide this in here, we've got the big rectangle over here and the 3 squares over there. So now we've got another big circle. So we want to find the next page that has the 3 small circles. So we want to find the 3 small circles, the 2 big circles, and then the big rectangle and the 2 circles or 2 squares. So we want the 3 small circles to be on the outside so that it matches up next to our big circle. And then we need, since we have that big rectangle, we need the 3 small rectangles right there. And each time I'm doing this, I'm just setting this on the very inside of my signature. So we're gonna find the one with the 3 small rectangles at the top, and rectangle, rectangle, or square, square. I keep saying rectangle, and a square is a rectangle, but not all rectangles are squares. But it's the 3 squares at the top. So this one was a little bit different because it's got the 3 squares at the top, and then the rest of it is just the lines with the 2 squares. And the very last page is just the lines with the squares. There's no like groupings that we need to worry about. And that one goes right in the middle. So now that we've done that, if we open the warm-up section up, we've got the big circle, the 3 little circles. We've got the big rectangle, the 3 squares at the top. We've got a big circle, the 3 little circles, the big rectangle, the 3 squares at the top, and then we've got the square, 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 square. And we continue on with just those squares, right? So squares and lines for the rest of the signature. Okay, so there's that one. The next one that we're gonna do together is the calendar one. So you want to start with the cover again. So find the one that has the cover, the calendar. And we're gonna have the cover face the outside like that. And then on the inside, so we want this half a calendar to have the other half of the calendar, right? So if we find the next page, it's got visual journals and then it's got half a calendar. So we want to put that half a calendar on the outside of our folio. And then we're going to tuck that folio to the inside of our sketchbook like that, or the inside of the signature. Okay. So now that we have that, we have another section where we need to add in the next part of the calendar, right? So you want to find the next page that you're going to do is the one that has the elements of art and the calendar. So you'll fold it so the calendar is on the outside of your folio. And that is going to go on the inside most part of your signature. And then we're going to do that same thing again. So now we've got we need the second half of the calendar. And we've got the lines over here. So we want to find where there's the lines and the calendar. And the second half of the calendar is going to go on the outside of our folio again. So it matches up and makes that calendar, right? And now we're gonna, our last page, we're gonna finish off this calendar and it's gonna have all those little checkoff lists. So you wanna find the clay forming and glaze skills list page with the half a calendar. And that half a calendar is gonna go on the outside. And you wanna make sure it's the half a calendar on the outside because this last page has a full calendar on the inside. So you want the half a calendar on the outside. And that gets tucked into the very center. So now when we go through our calendar one, we've got a completed calendar, a completed calendar, a completed calendar, a completed calendar, a completed calendar. And then we've got the little lists, the elements and principles, visual journal ideas, and the guide for artist statements. Okay, so this next one, the developing ideas project proposals. So this one, we still kind of want to go in order as much as we can. So we're going to start with the outside. So the developing ideas and project proposals. And then we want to, on the inside, it has this, right? So next to this developing artistic voice, we want the assessing ideas page. So you want to find the assessing ideas. It has multiple ideas on one side and assessing ideas on the other. So we want the assessing ideas on the outside of your folio. And we're going to tuck that in here so it matches up next to the developing artistic voice. And then now next to our multiple ideas, we want the evolving and combining ideas. So that's this one. So find that one. And we're going to make that one go on the outside of our folio. So we're going to make that match next to it. So on the inside of that one is the combining concepts collaboratively. And next to that, we're going to put planning with multiple ideas. So you want to find the page that has planning with multiple ideas. And the planning with multiple ideas is going to go on the outside of your folio. We're going to tuck it in so it goes next to the combining concepts collaboratively. And then next to the think sheet is going to go the iceberg picture. So that is, there's actually 2 pages that have the iceberg on it. So you want the one where it's the iceberg and then the project planning little rectangles and lines. So you want this one. So we're going to make that iceberg on the outside. We're going to tuck the iceberg in here. Okay, the very last page for this section is the one that's just the project planning ideas. So we want the double rectangle on the top of our folio, on the outside of our folio. And that's going to get tucked inside here. So for developing ideas, we've got developing artistic voice, assessing ideas, the multiple ideas, evolving and combining ideas, combining concepts collaboratively, planning with multiple ideas, the think sheet, the iceberg, and then we've got a bunch of project planning areas like this. Okay. Oh, and then there's the other iceberg. Okay, so the next one is the glaze log and lined paper. So now this one, I printed it out all weird. So as long as you have the glaze log and lined paper cover, it really doesn't matter how the inside sections go, because I kind of messed up on the printing of this one. So you can just add these in however feels best. So you could try to get as many of them in the front as you can, but they're never going to be in a specific order. So just make sure they're all nicely folded and that they become a signature for that one. And then the same thing for the lined signatures and the blank signatures. It doesn't matter what order they're in because they're all the same page. So you're just going to fold it so it creates those signatures, right? So the last few signatures, like the glaze log, I've made some funky printing errors. So like, if there's this random one here, that's okay. But like the next one is just lined paper. So they're all the same. And then the next couple are just the blank pages. So you can fold them and stack them however you like. All right. So once you have that all folded, then we're going to move on to how to start doing the stitching. All right. Thanks everybody.